Thank you so much for taking time out this afternoon to join us at Scholarship Guides webinar. Today, we are very honored to have Dr. Joycey, a senior lecturer on marketing programs with SUSS today to share more about content marketing and how successful marketing content strategies benefit the businesses and how companies leverage the power of influencer marketing to build personal connections with consumers. So at the end of this webinar, we will have a short Q&A session with Dr. Joycey. So for all those participants who are interested to ask questions, please feel free to leave the questions in the meeting in the chat box. Remember to address it to everybody so that we can see what are your questions. And at the end of the presentation, Dr. Joycey will pick a few questions to answer. So without further ado, I'll pass the time on now to Dr. Joycey to commence her presentation.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thanks, Daryl. Yeah, so can I share the screen now?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, so can you see the screen?
Yep, no problem.
All right. Yeah. So hello, everyone. My name is Joycey. I'm from SUSS. Yeah, so just now I was talking with Daryl. Actually, I've been teaching with SUSS for the past 7 years. Yeah, time really flies very fast. Yeah, so during these past 7 years, actually, the marketing landscape also changed. Yeah, so I've been teaching courses like services marketing, marketing management, and also retail management. And recently, I newly developed the courses like influencer marketing, and I've been developing the course on content marketing. Yeah, so just for your knowledge, I'm actually also an influencer, but on a Chinese social media called Weibo. It's one of the leading social media platforms from China. Yeah, so I have actually 600,000 followers. Yeah, my area of expertise is actually astrology. Yeah, so that's why. Yeah, so actually I never show my face. Actually, my followers don't know who I am. Yeah, so but I did accumulate some ample experiences in terms of being an influencer and also the how to create content. Yeah, so that's why I'm interested in this area, and I hope this sharing today will also inspire you. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so first of all, we need to know like what is content marketing. Yeah, so here you can see the kind of more formal definition from the literature. So content marketing is actually the marketing strategy. Yeah, so by the businesses to create and disperse valuable, consistent, and pertinent information to grab the maximum market shares and escalate the profits. Yeah, so but just to put it simple, actually content marketing you can consider is as a bridge. Yeah, bridge between the consumers' needs and problems and the solutions provided by the companies. Yeah, so suppose like you're a consumer, so during the COVID you just feel like doing some exercise at home, then you start to search online about home exercise equipment. Yeah, so you already started a journey on the content marketing. Then you see the article introducing some products such as yoga mats, maybe Nintendo Switch, Ring Fit, the doorway push-ups. Then you feel that you are interested in this. You are interested and you want to learn more about this doorway push-up bars. Yeah, so because it's very cheap and it's quite effective, then you search more about these pull-up bars at home, then on the e-commerce app. Yeah, so compare a few brands and finally you make them purchase on the brand based on the good reviews it received. Yeah, so as a consumer, you start with the need. Yeah, so that you need to do some exercise at home, then you find a solution of this doorway pull-up bar. Yeah, so in between the article, you read the product description you researched and also the comparison you made, the reviews you considered are guiding you to make this purchase decision. Yeah, so there are like marketing contents or the companies need to create to promote this content, like to reach to the target consumers and influence their decisions. Yeah, so basically this is what content marketing is about. Yeah, so actually we can see the example. Yeah, so have you heard of Carol Singapore? This is the local company like focus on the car rental, car sales. It's basically in a car marketplace where you can do all these car related services. Actually, last year, Carol has raised like $478 million Singapore dollars. Yeah, so in the latest funding round led by SoftBank, and it's becoming like another unicorn in Southeast Asia. Yeah, so this so actually like 3 years ago, I invited Carol's CMO, Miss Manisha. Yeah, so she now left the company. Yeah, but at that time, I invited her to offer our students with the sharing session. And she shared with us that a lot of content that her marketing team had generated. Yeah, so such as the articles you can see on the screen here, like the pooling, hybrid versus hybrids. Yeah, so what's the difference? Yeah, so history of these cars. Yeah, so I'd like to you can make a guess, like what percentage of the marketing team's work in Carol is to generate such marketing content. Yeah, so like these articles or even videos. Yeah, so you can make a guess. You can just type in the chat box. What percentage? Any guess? Anything? Yeah, so what percentage of the marketing team's work actually is to produce and generate all these marketing contents, marketing materials? Yeah, so actually the number she shared with us is 80%. Yeah, so is it very surprising to you? Yeah, so actually, yeah, so you may still think marketing is about advertisement, it's about sales, but now content is king. Yeah, so even I just did the research. Yeah, so some LinkedIn Singapore also showed that actually out of the 18,000 marketing jobs vacancies, around 4,000 are from the content marketing domain. Yeah, so that means on the market right now, actually 1/5 of the marketing jobs actually are the content marketing jobs. Yeah. Okay, so now you understand the importance of learning content marketing. Okay, so you can also see if you go to Carol Singapore's website, you will realize that they really covered vast majority of topics regarding cars, including the reviews of the cars, news on the cars, and also these driving stories like road trips, even on the lifestyles. Yeah, so why do you think they need to create so much content? Isn't it enough just to introduce some? Yeah, so about their products, their services, why they need to create so much content? Any thoughts? Okay, yeah, so the answer is it's really to increase the chance that their content is noticed by the potential consumers, right? Because consumers sometimes they're aware of their needs. Yeah, so for example, I have an interview next week. I need to get a new shirt. Yeah, so I'm very clear about what I need. But sometimes I'm not aware of my need. For example, I'm planning for the trip to Australia. So when I book the tour, I just read about the weather condition in Australia. I realized that actually there are really harsh sunlight in Australia. Yeah, so I realized the need of getting a pair of sunglasses and some of the and also like sunscreen. Yeah, so I only realized this need when I search for the content, when I plan my trip, right? So for Carol, the strategy is really to cover everything about the car. Yeah, so create content, all kinds of usage scenarios. Yeah, so there is a higher chance that Carol becomes the brand that looks familiar to the consumers. Yeah, so even if the consumers does not have the need for the car rental at the moment, but they may needed in the future, right? So, and now if in the future they have such a need, yeah, so Carol may become their preferred brand, yeah, because they already built the brand awareness. Okay, so that's the importance of doing content marketing. Yeah, so let's also briefly introduce the content marketing history. Yeah, so actually content marketing is not really a new thing. Yeah, so actually though the term becomes very popular in recent years, it's actually not something completely new. Yeah, so the traditional advertising, like from the magazines, from the TVs, can be also like considered a form of content marketing. Yeah, so since the printing press was invented in the 15th century, which led to the creation of these pamphlets, brochures to market the products. Yeah. So since then, there were examples of content marketing. You can build the audience by distributing helpful information like this pamphlets, the almanac. Yeah. So they will help them to realize the need for the product or the services. Yeah. So in the early 20th century, right? So the Michelin, the famous tire manufacturer, also published the first Michelin guide with the advice about the auto maintenance and travel. Yeah, so sounds very familiar. Sounds very similar to the Carol Singapore's idea, right? So it's not only about the car, but also about the travel, about all these usage scenarios, relevant usage scenarios. Yeah. So in the 1933, P&G created soap opera. Yeah, so by using the popular radio programs to promote the new soap product, that's why it's called soap opera. Yeah, so sometimes we still call the TV show soap opera, right? So in 1996, yeah, so the guy called John Opendale coined the term content marketing. So around the same time, like blogs, email marketing emerged in the marketing practice. So next milestone, like, is the introduction of the smartphones. Yeah, so allowing everyone to be able to really create and consume the content easily. Yeah, so like photos, videos. Yeah, so digital content has become the primary form of content. Yeah, so you need to be aware that this traditional media, as the print media like TV, like radios, they are still part of the content marketing. Yeah, so both the traditional media and the digital media. Okay, so another trend you actually need to be aware is called the trend of disintermediation. Yeah, so what does that mean? It's really sounds quite complicated, right? So let's look at this example here. Any of you still remember Queensway Shopping Center? When you were small, actually, yeah, so you buy some sports products there, right? So but when you read the news, actually it's the news back in 2017. Yeah, so around 5 years ago, actually, Nike, at that time, they banned the small retailers from Queensway Shopping Center from selling the Nike products. So why do you think Nike? Yeah, so at that time, if you really read the article, you realize actually the consumers were really furious. Yeah, so they were so angry. Yeah. So why do you think Nike made such a decision of banning the small retailers from selling their products? Any guess? Okay, so you can contribute through the chat box. If you have any ideas, you can also feel free to just verbally share your idea. Don't be shy. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so these are the possible answers, right? So actually, let's also look at what another strategic move Nike did after like banned the small retailers from selling their products. Yeah, so on the next year, they opened their first house of innovation in New York and then in Shanghai, in some other cities. Yeah, so it's really in a huge shopping space or the outlet for Nike. Yeah, so it's a 16,000 square feet store. Yeah, 4-story, located on Manhattan, Fifth Avenue. Yeah, so it's called the Nike House of Innovation. It's a flagship store. Yeah, so it's not only allows Nike to sell all these products, but also they allow Nike to really create some customer events. Yeah, so even the customize the services for the consumers. Yeah, so really the purpose is to create an immersive and personalized shopping experience for the consumers. And at the same time, you can see that they also created Nike app, right? Yeah. So the answer why Nike banned small retailers is that they want to have direct access with the consumers to the consumer market, right? Yeah, because of what? Because a lot of reasons actually. Yeah, so nowadays, if they have the direct access, that means they have the consumer data, right? Yeah, so that means they're able to learn the consumer's shopping pattern. When they know the consumers more, right? So they know where to move, right? So strategically, yeah. So that's why everybody is really competing for the consumers. Yeah. So this process, yeah. So if you look at this process, traditionally the manufacturers just in charge of manufacturing products, right? So it's a production orientation. Yeah. So then the products go through the wholesalers, retailers, and then reach the consumers. Yeah. But nowadays, actually, everybody's really competing for this direct access with the consumers. Now we really shift from production orientation to the market orientation. Yeah. So that means the companies, they become like consumer centric. Yeah, so they really need to understand what the consumers need. Yeah, so the consumer is really at the center. Yeah, so well, actually a lot of manufacturers, the retailers, yeah, so you can notice maybe in the past you can buy from the Queensway Shopping Center, you can buy the digital products from Harvey Norman, but nowadays you can see a lot of brands like Apple, like Xiaomi, they all have their own specialty store, right? Yeah, so they have their own outlets. Yeah, so that's the sign that they are competing for the direct access to the consumer market. Yeah, so we need to really keep this in mind because you need to really know your audience. When you design the content for the for your company, for the products, you really need to know who you are designing this content for. Yeah, so for the same reason, so marketing content also need to be designed for the target audience. Yeah, so and on the other hand, direct access to the consumers also generate data and insights for the company so that they are able to know their target audience even better. Yeah, so that's the process. Yeah, so that's the importance also of knowing your target audience. Yeah, so that's the first step actually. Before even you start to design the content, create the content, you first need to know your target audience, who they are and what they prefer. Yeah, so you need to know about them. Yeah, so it's extremely important to know your target audience. Yeah, so perhaps you have heard some like marketing terms called segmentation, right? So there can be different ways of doing segmentation. Yeah, so for example, the geographic locations, the demographics like age, like gender, education level, income, and also some psychographic, like what they really like, what their goals are, and what their values are, and also what their interests are. Yeah, so this lifestyle cycle, and also like behavior. Yeah, so for example, the frequency of using such products. Yeah, so these are the behavior segmentations. Yeah, so these are different dimensions you can do segmentation. Yeah, so usually the company would come up with a customer profile. Yeah, so it's a kind of a combination of these different aspects of different segmentation variables. Yeah, So really the companies nowadays also rely on the big data to know the audience more accurately. Yeah, so they know what you prefer. Sometimes they even say that these apps know your behavior even better than yourself. Yeah, so because they collected all this data about you, they know your preferences. Yeah, so okay, so just to give you some idea. Yeah, so Pop Mart it's a brand that is quite new to Singapore market, right? So, but you can see the flagship store in Funan Mall. You can also see some other stores like in the Westgate, also these kind of vending machines located all around the island, right? So what do you think are their target audience? Who are they? Any ideas? Do you think these toys are really designed for the kids or for the adults? Any thoughts? Yeah, so it's not a toy company or toy brand, but actually their product is not for the kids, right? So it's for the adults. And do you think like the majority of their customers are male or female? Yes. Yeah. So actually 60% of the Pop Mart customers are females. Yeah. So you can now you're really knowing this target audience better, right? So they're young adults, mostly female. Yeah. So who have kind of medium level of disposable income and who would like to collect toys. Yeah. So also who are a bit more like emotional, right? Because this Pop Mart, they got this blind box strategy. Yeah, so they enjoy the excitement of having the blind box. Yeah, so and usually because they are into this collection behavior, that's why they are heavy users, right? So this is some profiling of the target audience. Yeah, so before you do any kind of content creation, you need to have such a profile in your mind. Yeah, so now you roughly know who the target audience are for Pop Mart, right? So as a content creator, also you need to have this process. Of course, it requires more kind of data or more research about the market. Yeah, so now we are just having the example for you to understand what this is about. Yeah, so another example. Yeah, so actually this from STB Singapore. Yeah, so Singapore Tourist Board. Yeah, so for these are the visitors like who would like to visit Singapore. Yeah, so Singapore to STB is trying to promote Singapore as a tourism destination. Yeah, for these people. Yeah, so you can see there are 4 groups. Yeah, so like working millennials, the families with young kids, and the active silvers, and the business travelers. Yeah, so you can see that just now when we talk about the Pop Mart case, actually they have one targeted group of target audience, right? So but here when we talk about about visitors for Singapore, actually there are multiple groups. Yeah, so also keep this in mind that the target audience may not necessarily just be one concentrated group. Yeah, so it can be the multiple groups. Yeah, so if you identify different market segments, yeah, so you also need to create different materials, different content to cater to their need. Yeah. Okay. So next, you need to content. Yeah, so you need to be aware that content is designed for the target audiences. Also, you need to consider to engage your target audience at every stage of the customer journey. Yeah, because the customers, they get interested and they are considering your products, they're doing some like research. Yeah, so then they eventually buy. Yeah, so it's a journey. It does not really happen very fast. Yeah, so especially for some important decisions, for example, if you want to buy a laptop or you want to purchase from the house, right? So usually this kind of process can be even longer. Yeah, so that's why the companies need to design and distribute content at each stage, yeah, through the multiple channels to engage the customers. So the customer, the channels can be called the customer touch points, right? So the customer touch points means any situation consumers have the chance to interact with the brand or with the products. Yeah, so consumers may have heard the brand name mentioned in the podcast. Yeah, so it may sing the brand mentioned in a friend's social media post, right? So the consumers may also participate in a lucky draw event held by the brand. Yeah, so these can be also all considered the different touch points. Yeah, so wherever the brand name is mentioned to you, yeah, so wherever that the consumers, yeah, so are exposed to the brand or to the products. Yeah, so these occasions can be all considered as touch points. Yeah, so the company usually they have different content designed to communicate with the customers at each stage. Yeah, trying to make them engage throughout this whole customer journey. Yeah. Okay, so next you need to be aware that actually there can be also different content types, right? Yeah, so there are more traditional text-based content like blogs, like the emails, right? So also the audios, like the podcast or videos, right? Also, there can be the visuals. It's very important nowadays to have the infographics, videos, even the webinars. Yeah, so now we are doing the content marketing actually. Yeah, so different content would go to different channels or different platforms. Yeah, so the company can have their own website. Yeah, so they can, if they want to publish like long videos, they can go to YouTube. Yeah, so they can short videos, they can go to TikTok, right? So the pictures format also can go to Instagram, right? So that's why you need to be aware that there are different types of content. And also, these are the most popular networks or platform worldwide. Yeah, this is data for this year. Yeah, so one thing worth noting is that each network or the platform also has their own demographics, right? So like Facebook is now considered like relatively old. Yeah, so just now I was chatting with Daryl, we were talking about this. Yeah, so Facebook, the younger generation is no longer interested in Facebook. Yeah, so it's more for the mid-aged people. Yeah, so if you want to focus on the younger target audience, for example, the pop mart, you should not just choose Facebook as the main channel, right? So you should probably focus on TikTok, Instagram, yeah, so all other channels. So usually you can't just focus on all the channels. Yeah, so a better strategy or a more practical strategy is to focus on the selected few channels. Yeah, so that's why, first of all, you need to still know your customer, your target audience. Yeah, so and think like what form of content would be the best way to engage with them, right? Yeah, so and then you select the channel or the platforms. Okay, yeah. So another concept that you need to know is actually the different types of medias. Yeah, so this is also another way to look at these content channels. Yeah, so we can divide the marketing content channel into 3 categories. Yeah, so one is called paid media. Yeah, so that's any type of content or marketing channel that requires payment. Yeah, for example, the social media ads. Yeah, so any ad you see as a consumer from the social media. Yeah, so or YouTube ads. Yeah, or any displayed ads or the sponsorships. Yeah, so anything the companies need to pay. Yeah, so usually it's aimed at increasing the traffic in a fast way because you spend money. That's why the consumers can see you faster in an easier way. Your ad will be placed in a noticeable place, right, for the consumers to see. Yeah. So this you also, the second type is your own media. It's any content that is published on channels you create or you control. Yeah, so that is usually like your own website or your official account on YouTube or on Facebook. Yeah, so on the social media platforms, or your own newsletter. Yeah, so these are considered more organic content. Yeah, so you can just regularly use these ways to connect with your consumers or your potential prospective consumers, right? Yeah. So, and another way is actually the earned media. This part is becoming more and more important. Yeah. So it is any conversation or publicity around your brand that comes voluntarily from others, like the social media mentions from others, like some random user is talking about your brand, word of mouth, the referrals. Yeah. So third-party reviews. Yeah. So but you need to be aware that this part is actually out of your own control. Yeah, so it could be negative content. Yeah, so just now we talk about this page or your own media. These are all positive content, right? So it is under your control. Yeah, but this earned media, you don't need to spend money. Yeah, but it is out of your control. It can be negative. Yeah, so there can be negative reviews. Yeah, so that's why it's a bit risky. You also need to know ways how to kind of manage or facilitate this part of content. Yeah. But this part, why you should not ignore that, why it's becoming more and more important, because it's considered real, right? Because it's more natural. Yeah. So consumers nowadays, they really hate advertisement. Yeah. So they know that you are trying to promote your own brand, right? So it's not real. Yeah. So that's why so the companies need to strategically combine these three categories of content to reach the best content marketing effect. Yeah. So within one social media platform, for example, just Instagram, you can do all three things, right? So you can pay some influencer on Instagram to promote your brand. So that's paid media. Yeah. So you can also like publish the own content from your official account, right? So that's your own content, right? Owned media. You can also like have the customer reviews and word of mouth, right? So that's the earned content. Yeah. So even for one single social media platform, you can do all these three things. Yeah. So on the same social media platform. Yeah. Okay. Let's see an example. So yeah, so anyone know her? So she's yeah, so she just won some film award from the Korea Film Festival, right? So she's been like the brand ambassador for SK2 for the decade. Yeah. So that's some content. Yeah, so that's the screenshot actually from SK2's YouTube, their official account. Yeah. So that's considered own content. Yeah. So they invited celebrities to endorse their brand. Yeah. To promote their product. Yeah. But as you may see, there are only 66, I think 60 or 70 likes. Yeah, not many. Yeah. But if you compare with this one, yeah. So this one is actually the influencer, also on YouTube. Her name is Dr. Sherini. Yeah. So actually she has over 350,000. No, she has, yeah, so 390,000 followers. Yeah. So you can see that, yeah, so she's also promoting the brand SK2. Yeah. So she's promoting the Patera, the SK2 products. Yeah, she really made this videos, 50-minute long video, to introduce about these products. So see how many likes there are. There are nearly 4,000. So compare the situation when the SK2 published their own content. You can see actually the consumers, they really prefer this type of influencer marketing. So that's why nowadays the different companies, they also invest a lot of money through the different channels. So of course here now, so you need to, if you read carefully, there's line down here is FTC, right? So FTC is actually the Federal Trade Commission in the US. So you need to really review that this content is actually sponsored by the brand. So in Singapore, we also have similar guidelines. So it's from the ASAS, the Advertising Standard Authority of Singapore. It's under case. So if you don't disclose, it's not illegal. So currently this such kind of a practice is still in a kind of gray area. So so let's look at another example also on YouTube regarding SK2 is actually the negative exposure. So it's about some YouTuber who's been sharing her experience of using SK2, but it's a negative experience. So made me break out. So you can see that she shared her really negative experience. So though SK2 earned some, earned some touch points. But actually it's a negative one. But you can see also from the comments area, so some of the other users, so they also honestly share their views or share their experiences. There can be also positive ones. So that's why this earned content, usually it can be mixed. So the effect from the earned content is a double-edged sword. So, but still companies, they want it because first of all, it's usually free. Second of all, it's considered real by the consumers. It's really valued more importantly by the consumer. But the thing is that you cannot fully control it. Okay, so so let's also look at some other examples. So sometimes just now we introduced a few examples. So but you need to be aware that content sometimes is not about product. It can be also about the brand. So just now we introduced SK2's, the Petra, the lotion, right? So here actually SK2 also got some other content. So last year SK2 launched this SK2 Studio to empower women. So the theme is about change destiny. So they really encouraging women to be more rebellious and resilient. So they mentioned this destiny is not a matter of chance but choice. So why do you think SK2 also creates such content? They should sell their products, right? So why they're not promoting their products but they are encouraging women? Any thoughts? Okay. Promoting their PR. And also, there's no purpose. Remember, first of all, the first step of doing the content marketing is to have the connection with the target audience. Right? So here, by making this kind of videos, so SK2 is actually launching a dialogue with their target audience. So think about it. Who are the SK2 users? They are usually mid-aged women, right? So who may perhaps have not only the aging problem, but also some self-doubts, right? So that's why they're making these kind of videos to really have the connections, so with their target audience. So they do not think from the perspective of aging, but rather they think from the perspective of changing destiny. If you use our product, there's a higher likelihood that you change your destiny, you look younger. Yeah, so they do not see that look younger, they see change destiny. Yeah, so they really use this message to empower their target audience. Yeah, so that's why you need to always remember that the content is designed to communicate with the target audience. Yeah, so it's not about really selling the products. Yeah, so but yeah, so it's the connection with the target audience, because the target audience, if they're really loyal to your brands, they can make repeated purchase, right? So they can be, you can harvest the lifetime customer value from the loyal customers, right? Yeah, so the ultimate purpose is to connect with people, with target audience. Yeah, so not to sell the products. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so just now we just introduced a few examples from digital media, but let's see an example from the traditional media. Any of you still remember this UOB's TV commercial that was from 7 years ago? Any of you still remember? At the time, this TV commercial were really popular, and then a lot of my students actually still remember it. Yeah, maybe you guys are too young, you could not remember it. Yeah, so UOB actually also introduced a lot of family stories, a series of values such as this trust or honesty, the respect, hardworking. Yeah, so they mentioned that actually this honesty isn't enclosed in our genes. In the end, our value define us. Yeah. So the content also, again, has nothing to do with any banking products. It's not about mortgage loan. It's not about cashback, right? So it's about this corporate branding, cultivating the long-term relationship with the customers, right? So UOB is the bank that has been in the market for over decades, right? So clearly, awareness is not a goal. Yeah, so this kind of repeated purchase or the customer loyalty does not come from the daily promotion, yeah, but from this kind of long-term relationship. Yeah, so that's why they really focus on the value of trust, of this kind of honesty, of respect, right? Yeah, so again, UOB is trying to talk with the target audience. Yeah, so to reassure those who are already loyal, yeah, who have been with UOB for a long period of time. Yeah, so that's something you need to be aware. Yeah, content marketing is not necessarily about promoting the product. Yeah, so it can be also building a relationship and connecting with the target audience. Okay, yeah, so just now we mentioned about the 3 types of media, right? So the earned media is especially important. Yeah, so here we call it the user-generated content. Yeah, so that's why when we talk about this user-generated content, there can also be ways for the companies to facilitate this kind of earned content. Yeah. So any of you heard of this brand, Zhenyun, or using their braces? No. It is also a famous, quite famous local startup. Yeah. So it only like founded in 2018. Yeah, but already also received several rounds of fundings. Yeah. So it's their products. It's like these transparent 3D printed aligners or the braces, right? So they to make it more like affordable. It's cheaper than its competitor, the Invisalign. Yeah, so Invisalign is also the transparent aligner brand. Yeah. So again, it's very the company has very promising future. It raised $40 million in its fundraising. So next step, it may also go for IPO in near future. So yeah, as a new player in the market, interestingly, Zhenyun did not focus on the quality of the aligners. Yeah, so they also didn't mention that we have low price, right? So instead, it focuses on the smiles. Yeah, so it's a very interesting positioning point, right? So encourage the customers to smile more. Yeah, so it's not like most advanced clear aligner. They are not saying this. They encourage you to smile more. Yeah. So this is the importance of really communicating with your target audience, right? Yeah. So not focus on the product features, yeah, but directly connecting with the consumers. Yeah. So they encourage you to smile more. Yeah. Okay. So we can see that for Zhenyun, it creates in the app also to provide the information about how that you progress over the way. Yeah, so for every customer. Yeah, so it's very important for the consumers to really make comparisons and see the progress, right? So the app makes it easier to document such progress. Yeah, so it is also possible that they are like they're sharing their progress on the social media with their friends, right? So this is type of user-generated content as well. So user-generated content may not necessarily be the reviews. Yeah, so you can use these ways to facilitate the user-generated content. Yeah, so you provide this information to them, like how you progress, right? Yeah, so this makes the customers more likely to share, yeah, so their progress on the social media or about the information, right? So that's also creates even the organic word of mouth. So the lesson here is actually the companies, you need to think of ways to create opportunities to facilitate consumers to talk positively about your brand. Yeah, so you need to guide the consumers. Yeah, so that's one of the example. So another way is actually also to create some events. Yeah, so probably some of you have heard of Zhenyun's product through their pop-up store. It's called the Zhenyun's Smile Gym. Yeah, so consumers can really go there to have fun and also show smiles at different stations. Yeah, so the smile cycle. Yeah, so different. Yeah, so to get even more excited about customize the smile kit with them free hot stamping, try to win the shopping vouchers. Yeah, so again, this is to create and facilitate positive user-generated content, which may appeal to those who would like to wear the aligners and get beautiful smiles, but concerned about the product quality, right? Yeah, so you need to create these opportunities for the consumers to share. Yeah, to share more positively about your brand. Yeah, so that's how companies manage the UGCs. Yeah. Okay, so another example for managing positively about the user-generated content is the Shane. Yeah. So any of you heard of this? I'm sure some of you are Shane users, right? Okay, yeah, so the Shane not only manage the user-generated content, but they also built the customer community. Yeah, so Shane actually targeted Gen Z young women and created a very strong fashion community. Yeah, so they have really large variety of products, and they incentivize the customers to sign in frequently and participate in the community. Yeah, so that's why they also strategically stimulate consumers to generate more UGCs. Yeah, so this is the most talked about brand on TikTok. Yeah, supported by a lot of celebrities and influencers. Yeah. Okay, so Shein is not only selling its products, but also it managed to create content, especially the user-generated content along the shopping journey. Yeah. Okay, so that's Yeah, so just a separate page, the slide on influencer marketing. Yeah, so it is really now very hot topic on marketing. Yeah, so the advantage of doing influencer marketing is that it can really lead to the conversions more effectively. Yeah, because influencer, they build good relationships with the customers. Yeah, so the companies tap into the existing relationships with the target audience to promote this brand. Yeah, so no need to invest efforts to go all the way from the very beginning of the customer journey, right? So in other words, this audience from the influencer marketing channel is already in a warm audience. Yeah, so it is a shortcut for the companies to build the relationship. Yeah, so that's here actually in SUSS, not only for the content marketing course, but also we offer an influencer marketing course. Yeah, so if you are interested, you can find out more. Yeah, so with our admission team. Okay, so for the content marketing, just now we talk about these some examples from the industry. Yeah, so as a content creator, you also need to have the content strategy. Yeah, so the content strategy is the plan actually in which you use the content. Yeah, so whether it's audio, visual, or written to achieve your business goals. Yeah, so a successful content strategy will attract your target audience at every stage and keep them engaged even after the purchase. Yeah, so you really you need to answer these few questions. For example, yeah, first of all, of course, is who are your target audience and why you are creating the content. Yeah, so that's from the customer journey map, right? So the different stages. And then where you are going to publish this content. We also introduce the different channels, different social medias. Yeah, so what type of content? Yeah, so it's a really according to your goal. Yeah, so also you need to how you will create the content. Of course, it depends on how creatively you want to do it. There are various ways of creating content. Yeah, so we can, I think time is almost up. Yeah, so let's quickly go through all this. Yeah, so there is one example actually about applying this content strategy. Yeah, canvas. Yeah, so perhaps you still remember this advertisement for Shopee when it was introduced to the market. Yeah, so how do you feel about this ad? Do you think it's a successful ad, or you like it or you don't like it? Any particular feeling? Yeah, so this ad is, so it's not really well liked by some of the Singaporeans. Yeah, but according to content marketing matrix, evaluation matrix, actually this was a very successful marketing campaign. Yeah, because it really makes the target audience remember the name of the e-commerce app, right? Yeah, because the target market is not only in Singapore, but also from the overall Southeast Asian area region, right? Yeah, so you need to be aware of that. What is your goal? What is your purpose? Yeah, so this is really to build the awareness. Yeah, so that's why they use the really well-known celebrity. Actually, this Ronaldo, he has the in terms of number of followers, he's the #1 on Instagram. Yeah, so a lot of people know him. Yeah, so that's why naturally they remember the name of Shopee. Yeah, so especially for those because Southeast Asia market is really the fragmented market. Yeah, so that's why they need to have a well-known celebrity to endorse the brand. Yeah, to raise the awareness. Yeah. But then you can see the following years, they actually use the local celebrities for Singapore markets. Yeah, so then they use a different strategy. Yeah, so when it was introduced to the overall Southeast Asia market, yeah, so at that time to build the awareness, that's why they invested a lot of money to have a celebrity to endorse their brand. Yeah. Okay, so Another thing is actually you need to be aware is the content marketing metrics. Yeah, so that's what gets measured, get managed. Yeah, if you want to improve anything, you need to make sure it's measured properly. Yeah, so the same rule would apply for the content marketing. Yeah, so you need to have the metrics to measure the marketing content. Yeah, so yeah, for example, for the purchase stage, yeah, so you can have the consumption metrics. Yeah, so for example, how many people your content has reached, or how many impressions your content had made. Yeah, so all these videos viewed for how long, and also you can also have the sharing matrix. Yeah, so like the likes, the reposts, the comments. Yeah, so there can be also the lead generation matrix. Yeah, so that how many people fill up the forms. Yeah, so register their interest. Yeah, so there can be also like sales matrix. Of course, that's the conversion. That's the most important step. Yeah, so um there are like more content marketing matrix. Yeah, so it really depends on your goal and your type of content. Yeah, but you need to make sure that you have a very clear goal for each piece of content. Yeah. All right. I think, yeah. So last but not least, you need to know that the content may not necessarily be crafted manually. Yeah, so there are really now plenty of AI supported content marketing tools. Yeah, so it's for content planning, content creation, content assurance, yeah, quality assurance and analytics. Yeah, so we don't have time to really introduce all these operational details about the content marketing within one webinar. Yeah, so if you're interested in the course, you can contact our admission team. Yeah, so they are really friendly and helpful to offer you more information about this. Okay, yeah, so here, as you can see that we use a lot of cases and applied examples for both like local and international market. Yeah, so I need to promote our school now. Yeah, so in SUSS, our course is really focusing more on the applied knowledge. Yeah, so we have good industrial connections. We teach with not only solid academic standard, but also we provide students with practical hands-on experiences. As you can see that most of courses are like seminar-based, more like smaller class size. We ensure our students would get really full support from our faculty and the main team. Yeah. So in the past few years, our marketing team also like roll out some new courses like this content marketing, influencer marketing, sustainability marketing, and social marketing and marketing analytics. Yeah, so if you compare our curriculum with the other units, there you can definitely find some advantage in the digital marketing domain. Yeah, so we have the open house on February the 25th. Yeah, so next year, hope to see you in SUSS campus on that day. Okay, so just some takeaway wrap up. Yeah, so content marketing is the bridge between the problems and solutions. Yeah, so it's designed for your target audience, takes various formats and engage the consumers at various stages and medias. Yeah, content measurement is important. Yeah, so you need to make sure that it's measured, and also it's not handmade anymore. Yeah, so a lot of AI applications and tools in content marketing for you to learn. Okay, so I think at the end of the presentation, yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Joycey. So right now,
thank you, Daryl.
we will open the floor up to questions. If you have any questions regarding what has been shared by Dr. Joycey or SUSS in general, you can feel free to type in the questions in the chat box. Or if you want to unmute yourself to ask the question yourself verbally, you can do that right now. So we'll have about 5 to 10 minutes of Q&A time And then if you have anything that you want to know more about content marketing, you can feel free to share and ask Dr. Joycey now.
Okay, so there's the question regarding whether the slides can be shared. Daryl,
Yeah.
so I'm
So
not
after this whole recording, after this whole webinar session, right, we will upload this entire recording and the slides will be on our website as well. So keep a lookout for the article on our website on Scholarship Guide, and you can find the slides there as well.
okay. Any other questions?
Maybe I can start the questions first.
You have questions for me?
Yeah, I got questions.
Okay.
So between like traditional marketing, like newspaper or TV and radio, versus like influencer marketing, which one do you think it's more effective if I have to choose one path to go?
It really depends what your goal is. Yeah. So I think the paid media is still like some advertisement. For example, just now we shared the Shopee example, right? So yeah, so it's really depends on your goal. Yeah. So you need to decide first on your goal, then you choose your channel. Yeah. So also depends on your target audience. You need to do your market research. Yeah. So you need to know where your target audience are. Yeah. So and how to connect with them. Yeah. So it's not really which media is better. It depends on your goal. Yeah. I would see that traditional media still works. Yeah, but yeah, so if you want to connect with the younger generation, of course, you cannot overlook the digital medias. Okay, so does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I saw some question, but it's a private message to me. It said that how I got famous.
Yeah, maybe you can share more about your journey
I
of
think
being an influencer.
it's really depends on your not only the quality of your content, also a bit on your luck. Yeah, so as you may see that nowadays there are a lot of social media companies, they are professionals, MNCs, they are there to really generate or incubate some influencers. Yeah, so but it's not necessarily that all these influencers who got these resources or got this investment would get famous. Yeah, so usually that's why there's kind of their strategy is to invest in a lot of influencers and see that maybe who will get famous. It depends really not only on your content quality but also your luck. Yeah, so I would say that I'm lucky. Yeah, so then second of all, you need to be aware of the kind of algorithm, the rule of the platform. Yeah, for example, if you are into like TikTok, you need to know that what type of content are popular on TikTok. You need to know their way of how the content on TikTok get promoted. Yeah. So I think for each platform, the algorithm is actually different. Yeah. So also, like we just mentioned, their target group also different for each social media platforms. Yeah. So that's something that you need to be aware, and you need to research the platform's rules. Yeah. So in order to get famous, that's also very important, because only when you follow their rules, there is a higher chance that your content get promoted by the platform. Yeah. So actually, it's really not. So the good quality is only the first step. Yeah. But later it's all about how you know their rules, how you promote your content. Yeah. So the basic thing is about the algorithm. You understand their algorithm. Yeah. Okay, so hope I answer your question. So how I get capture the attention of my target audience. Yeah, so I think it's so first of all, you need to understand who your audience are. Yeah, for me, my audience mostly females who are interested in astrology. Yeah, so because I think astrology is the area that actually when you face uncertainties in your life that you tend to develop such interest. Yeah, so so you need to be aware of that. Also, you need to talk to them in a way that is more like calming, soothing. You cannot be too emotional, right? Yeah, so it's, you need to slowly get to know, understand your target audience. Yeah, so another thing is that actually I went through the stage where I only got a few thousand followers, and to now, like, I got a few hundred of followers. Yeah, so you also realize one thing, that when you have more and more followers, actually the way you manage your content also become different. Yeah, so for now, like in the beginning, I really generate content. I focus on the quality of the content. But now, since I have more followers, sometimes I just create opportunities for others to share their content. Yeah, so I'm now really managing how to see the follower community. I'm building the community. I create more opportunities for others to express themselves. Yeah, to feel like that they get more attention. Yeah, so that's why we can see that for influencers, there are different levels. Some of nano influencers, micro influencers, macro influencers, and celebrity level influencers. Yeah, so actually for each stage, there will be a different strategy to connect with your fan, your followers. Yeah, so I think at my group, I think I'm now at the macro level. Yeah, so it's more like really to connect not only like individually with each follower, but communicate with the followers community. Yeah, yeah, so to form the sense of community for them, that they feel that they feel that they have the freedom to share their knowledge and their feelings. Yeah, so that's very important. Yeah. Okay, so I got another question. What is the distinction between the advertising and marketing? What overlap? Yeah, so just now, as we mentioned, actually advertising is paid. Yeah, so but marketing, as we mentioned, some of the channels actually is completely free. Yeah, so it depends on what, yeah, so what your goal is. If you really, so advertising, another difference is that advertising, when you pay, you are trying to communicate with the mass audience, right? So the mass market. Yeah, so but for the content marketing, as we mentioned, you first need to know your target audience. You are trying to communicate with a particular group of people. Yeah, so that's, yeah, so advertising is usually not free and very expensive. Yeah, so that's why nowadays, yeah, so the content is becoming more popular. Okay, do you have any other questions?
I think if there's no more questions, then I think we can wrap up this whole session. So on behalf of Scholarship Guide, we'd like to thank everyone for taking the time out to participate in this webinar. And of course, we'd like to thank Dr. Joycey for taking time out of her schedule to prepare all these slides and share all this information with us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, so if you have any more questions, you want to let us, you can let us know via email. You can email to us.
Yeah,
you can
I
get
need
in
to flash
contact.
these slides again. Yeah, promote our open house day.
Yeah. Or if
Okay.
you want to meet Dr. Joycey, you can definitely go to the open house next year and find her there.
Okay, I will see you there.
Yeah, and for again, just to remind everybody, if you are interested in today's recording, it will be live on our website by tomorrow. The slides, all this will be included as well, so that you can go back and read about content marketing, and if it really interests you, then maybe you can get in touch with SUSS and find out more about their courses. So with that, I'd like to thank everybody for participating, and thank you so much, Dr. Joycey.
Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, everyone.